So Mick, your thoughts on the 2006 season?
A bit disappointing really. Objective at the start was to stay in the competition of National League One, and we didn't reach that, so a little bit down. Pretty close at times to pinching some results, but just didn't quite have enough points at the end of the season to stay up.
A frustrating season, because at the end of the season we showed what we could have done if it wasn't for the bad injuries that we had.
Yeah, a lot of trauma with the boys. Some key players with serious breaks, knee ligament repairs, shoulder reconstructions, broken hands. The list goes on. It's been a bit bizarre really with the amount of injuries that we've gotten. And right at the start of the season, we played the first round of the competition with no centres, and Rob Spicer filled in great. And as soon as we get some centres back to put Rob in the back row, he breaks his hand. So it's just one of them seasons where things have happened and it's been all adversity. But I think we've worked pretty hard along the way. The players have worked hard, but just as we say, fell a little bit too short.
There's a cliche in sport which says that league tables never lie, but as a supporter, I can't help that nagging feeling that we're too good to go down.
Yeah, we scored plenty of points. Unfortunately, it's the points conceded that's let us down a little bit. We've been in a lot of games this year where you'd think, if you just looked at the first score, York 26 or whatever, you'd think they'd win the game, but we haven't had enough points. We've been a bit leaky with our defence, but the bottom line with our defence, we've turned the ball over too soft at times, and some of the games we've spent twice as long defending as the opposition and inside his own half. So we have defended quite well for long periods, and I'm not sure there's many other teams that would have defended some of them sort of periods that we have. But it's been a bit frustrating really. In this game and the quality of the competition, if you turn the ball over, you're not quite sure when you can get it back. There's quality kickers, there's people who can score points, and it's been a tough one. It's been a good learning curve for us all.
Now the fact that you've signed quite a lot of the squad on for next season kind of shows, I suppose, your faith in them.
Yeah, I've got a lot of faith in the players. I've shown it all year. We've had a lot missing at times, but I still believed in the squad, and we showed at the end of the year, even though we're nowhere near what we'd probably consider the starting lineup when we looked at the squad at the start of the year. We won games and won them well and won them on merit. So it's shown a bit of faith in them. But I honestly think that they still are first division players, and I'm glad that they've shown faith in the club. And we need to be as strong as we possibly can for next season, because it will be a difficult one. There's a lot of tough games in that competition now with Wales, London, Workington, Barrow, Gateshead. It's not an easy competition, as a lot of teams have found out in there. So we need to be at full strength. We need to be as strong as we possibly can, and we need to be really focused on one objective, and that's winning each game as it comes. That was the sort of the principles we put in place for last season. We just take every game as it comes, and we go out to win that game. Pretty much the same this year, but next year, people will be looking at us as favourites, or joint favourites, or within the top three. We need to bypass that and just focus on ourselves and make sure that we prepare well in this off-season, ready for a very tough campaign in 2007.
And how do you think you need to kind of change the makeup of the squad? Do you think you need to bring in a bit more muscle, or how would you change it for a lower level of rugby?
Yeah, we're looking already. We've signed a couple of guys that's going to bring a bit more muscle. We know we've lacked that this year. Obviously with Craig Ford's side, he retired very early in the season. Missed him really, because he was give that bit of experience to the team. Dean O'Loughlin, one of our close season signings, he had the size, but he went professional boxing. Jamie Bovell, unfortunately, he's been dogged by injury all year, and he's played a small part. So we've lacked that size up front, and as well as Sully and Joe Elm and Wardy, they've worked hard, but we have lacked a little bit of extra experience and a little bit of punch. We're looking to rectify that for this coming season, which we've already signed a couple of guys, hopefully that will give us that size and add to the back rows and the front rows we've already got, and it's starting to look like a very useful squad.
Now, when you first came to the Knights, there's a massive weight of expectation, because we obviously were going for promotion, which we got and you delivered. This season, perhaps less expectation, because we weren't necessarily expected to do that well, because it was a very difficult league. But again, next season, the expectation will be absolutely massive.
Yeah, I expected to stay in this competition. I expect to be in National League One in 2007. That was always my belief. and I never fell away from that. There was a lot of things happened to us, but next year, yes, everybody we're expecting is just to bounce straight back up. But this game, it's about performing every week, as everybody finds out at whatever level you play, and that's why it's important that we get the right squad together. We get a squad that's got one thing in mind, and that's winning games and getting to the best, playing to the best of their ability. And I think we've got a lot of players already in the squad who've got that mindset. The guys we're bringing in, they look, a bit of muscle. A bit more punch, and I think we'll have a good season next year. I'm sure we will. People may expect just to go straight back up, but we'll have to earn that right if we are going to earn that right through the quality of our performances. Because it's easy being top of the tree, but it's even more difficult staying there. As it's just a massive cup final for every other team when you're the top dog. So it's important for us that we push that to one side and just focus on preparing well for each game and playing to potential for each game.
So finally, we've talked about the players' efforts. How do you think the fans have got on this season?
Yeah, I think they've been great. They always get behind the lads. They've turned up at every game, and the travelling numbers away, which is a massive boost for this club. The one in mind that sticks is probably the Doncaster game, where they took over the whole of that stand of the right hand side of the dugout, and it was just superb, and the lads put in a pretty good performance and took Doncaster to the cleaners. And we had a lot of adversity in that. I lost 3 of my bench, so we only had one rotation for 40 minutes. So it could have gone the other way, to be fair, with the weather turning quite hot. But the fans, I thought they were absolutely superb that day. Really got behind the lads, and they showed the belief that they probably deserve. To be fair, they're a good bunch of fans, and they deserve a side that not necessarily wins every week, but puts in the commitment every week, and I think they recognise that. If the lads they know it's been a tough competition, but if the lads are putting in, I think they can recognise that and know that it's a different class of football that we've been playing in. So I'm really pleased that the fans got something to cheer about at the back end of the year. A bit of a disappointing finish at Lee, but to lose Bucko the first set and then play 80 minutes with 12 men against a pretty good Lee side on the day, to be fair. It was a big ask, but we restored some pride in the previous weeks before that, and that game against Doncaster at home, if we'd have won that, we'd have probably stayed up. So but the fans, superb, always behind them.
Well, it's been a great effort, Mick, and we're certainly looking forward to next season. Thanks for your time this evening.
Thank you.
That's all from us here at York Racecourse, and that's all from the York City Knights review of the season 2006. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage this season, and we'll be back next year following the team in National League 2. See you then.